I'm Amy Cherry. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, here to wow ya. Nearly $2 million, that's what Sheriff Rick Staley says he needs to keep Flagler County's schools markedly safer. The sheriff wants to put a deputy in every school and 2 in every high school, and the district agrees it's a good plan. To do it, he'd need 7 new sheriff's deputies. Negotiations are still underway, but the district has little choice but to add at least 1 deputy to each school under the new Safe Schools Act, passed by the legislature in the wake of the Parkland shooting. Only private schools are exempt from the legislation that requires an armed marshal officer or faculty member who is not a teacher at every school. The cost will be shared 50-50 between the sheriff's office and the district, but at a cost of $900,000, that's a hard hit to Flagler County schools' budgets.
This portion of WNZF Local News, a service of the Daytona Beach International Airport. Fly to the Big Apple in a New York minute on JetBlue from the Daytona Beach International Airport.
A new state law has Flagler Beach and Flagler County scrambling to fight back. The controversial private property law could lead to portions of the beach being closed. The law that takes effect July 1 allows some coastal landowners to deny public access to the portion of their properties between the high water mark and the dunes. Flagler Beach City Manager Larry Newsom.
So we still want to make sure that the 6 miles of Flagler Beach is actually open to the public. A lot of the property rights actually go to the bottom of the dune. They don't actually go to the mean high water line. We want to make sure that the people on Flagler Beach can still use the beach, and the people that actually have the private property and the riparian rights can't put obstructions to keep the people from walking down the beach.
Both Flagler Beach and Flagler County say they want to preserve the status quo of their open beaches. Sheriff Rick Staley says his office is in full support of a victims' rights bill currently being considered by the Florida Constitution Revision Commission. John Arking has the details.
Sheriff Rick Staley issued a letter backing Proposal 96, commonly known as Marcy's Law for Florida, which supporters say ensures victims of crime have constitutional rights and better support throughout the judicial process. Staley says he hopes that the proposal can pass through the commission and make it onto the ballot for voters this coming November.
I would encourage the voters to pass it. We need to make sure that victims are protected under the Florida Constitution and their rights remain viable and prevalent in criminal cases.
Sheriff Staley's letter in support of the proposal was sent to Marcy's Law Director, Gregory Ungru, and is posted on the Sheriff's Office website, flaglersheriff.com. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm John Arking.
Sheriff Staley goes from conference attendee to lifesaver. Rich Petchke has the story.
Staley was at the Lakes Golf Club in Palm Coast on Wednesday when a woman began to choke, so he performed the Heimlich maneuver. Staley says it didn't work the first time.
The first 3 times were not successful, and so I asked the group that was there to call 911 because I wanted them to be en route in case I was unable to dislodge the obstruction in her throat. But fortunately, the 4th time was successful and dislodged it.
The woman, identified as Sharon Demers, thanked Staley for saving her life. She did decline further medical treatment. For his heroism, Staley received a standing ovation. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Rich Petchke.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Amy Cherry.